This is the movement. The movement.
I did that for years.
Oh, okay.
For years, and then like 2 years after he had been here, he decided to move to California.
Okay. How old was your daughter then?
She was about 9.
Okay.
And so that was hard on her.
Okay.
She really went through her own sort of changes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think she was upset, you know, confused. And I remember this one time, I didn't know if she understood why we were not together anymore, but
Okay.
when I tried to ask her about it, how she made sense to me about it was, well, you know, you could have taken turns washing the dishes, or you could have taken turns doing the laundry. And I realized that this child really still had a very much child's perspective of what these grown-ups
She's 9.
were going
Right.
through, you know, at 9. And so, but, you know, one thing I never did was badmouth her father
Okay.
in front of her. The other thing that I made a promise to never do was even take him to court.
Okay.
I thought it was very important for us as a black family to stay out of the court system. And I know other women do it for various reasons, but I really do feel like there's too many of our brothers in the court system. So with that as the basis, that set up a sort of, I don't know, like a trust,
Okay.
you know, between us.
Okay.
And mind you, this was very like volatile times we were going through. You know, it was sort of a angry breakup.
Okay.
And for a long time, you know, we didn't get along, or for a while he would call, and as soon as I pick up the phone, I'd be like, let me talk to our daughter. And it was like that for years. When he moved, however...
And let me tell you, I believe that because my husband and I have been separated now 11 years.
Okay.
And in the last year, we've had the most conversation that we've had in the 11 years we've been separated. And I want to say in that last year, we've just had maybe 3 conversations. But I'm still like, we've had 3 now. So and it's 11 years.
We're coming back to some sort of friendship.
Oh my God, right.
So for a while, for you know, at least a couple of years, there was some volatility there.
Okay.
And we were not able to, you know, we literally only talked if it was surrounding me.
Okay.
So he moves out to California. That definitely produces like this shift in things because now, you know, our daughter's not seeing him every weekend or often enough during the week, and she really missed him.
Okay.
You know, I remember one time I went into her room and I found a note that she had written, you know, I miss Daddy, and I think that, or something like, well, I wish you were here, and she like drew a picture, and you know, I'm a teacher, so you know, in art therapy, that's one of the things, they get children to draw, because they may not be able to express the emotion, but they can certainly sort of reproduce it in some, you know, I began to see signs like her drawing things, her acting, you know, just little things that she was missing him. So she did junior high school.
Okay.
Where she was at, we kept her in the same school for a while. She had been there since kindergarten. Around the time that high school was coming up, there were some choices whether to keep her in the same place.
Because this is now 13,
yeah,
14.
now we're going past some years, and so she wanted to do something different.
Okay.
So none of the New York schools were really jumped out, so she suggested, what about California? And I remember, like, at first, I was like, nah.
I don't live in California.
No,
Right.
no. And then, you know, Caribbean families, they're like, the man don't get the child unless the woman die. And even if she died, there's an auntie, there's a grandma somewhere, there's a sister that wants to step in and raise those children.
Not the father.
Not the father. And that's our culture, right? So when my daughter suggested it, and at first I said no, I came to my own sort of just talking to friends and searching my heart. Why am I saying no? And it was really because I just didn't want her away from me physically. You know, after searching my heart, talking about it, I finally said, like, okay, what does this mean? Now, unbeknownst to me, my ex had gone, her father had literally gone and researched like the best schools in the neighborhood, best neighborhoods to live in. On his end, he did a lot. He put forth effort and like emailed me all this stuff. Like, listen, like if we're gonna do this here, I've been thinking about this, and I'll live in this neighborhood, so she can go to this school. And so it was like, okay. Now, breaking the news to my family and even some of my friends, that was challenging. And I had family and friends that were like, no, just didn't agree with it at all.
So you have to now present this to your family.
Yes. And they were under the thought that a child shouldn't be away from their mother if everything's okay. If there's not a problem, if there's not why are you sending your child away? Can a man raise a girl? Can a man give a child what she needs?
Can a man give a girl child what she needs?
Yes.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Can a father?
He loves his daughter. She's with him now.
Like, would a man be able to support her emotionally when she's going through stuff? That's your job?
That's your job?
See, he just said that's his job. And here's the thing. There are so many brothers out here who are doing it. And so let me fast forward. So finally, I just had to say, listen, this is like my decision and own it.
And so she's 13, 14.
Yeah.
Now, technically, this is preteen.
14, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is development stage.
Yeah.
This is boy stage.
Yeah.
This is a stage this is the I'm feisty stage. This is actually the stage to be with the woman.
I know. The stage that you need a little bit more patience in your life and understanding.
So what's the setup? What happens now?
So I put my foot down. I just, this is something we want to do. This is something our daughter wants to do. And I told it, it's a revolving door policy. You can change your mind 24 hours after being in California and come back. You can change your mind 48 hours, 2 weeks. You can call me in the middle of the night. We'll get a plane ticket the next day. So it really was like going into it, like, you can change your mind. Like, you can change your mind. You can call me tomorrow and change your mind if you want to. So I think she knew that.
Now, would that have been fair to her father if she did that, though?
I think, like, thank goodness that didn't happen, because that would have been probably a whole other thing. But
and so how did he end up doing?
Amazing. Amazing. Like, just, it was the best decision for her. I think, for both of us. It was hard the first year for me.
So what's the situation? She goes to, she's in California during the school year, and then she comes home in the summer?
Yeah, so she comes home in the summer, lives in California, comes home all the breaks that we do. So whether it's Christmas break, summer break, and so that's what we did. Whereas when she was with me, she would be going out there.
So that first year,
that was the crazy year.
My girlfriend, the silence in the house.
My girlfriend once told me, she said, she said there's the 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. To get over something, the process of getting over something like the first 3 days are the hardest, first 3 weeks you're gonna go through this. By the first 3 months, like, here's what will happen. And that was so true. Like, literally, I don't tell people this, but my daughter left like a sock in the hallway of our apartment when she left, and I left it for a while, just because then I would walk past it like every day, but it was like weeks. And then I was like, oh, like, she's coming home for Thanksgiving. Her things in the bathroom. I left that there. So as a mom, going through that empty nest syndrome early was devastating. Honestly, like, I'm not even gonna say like it was so easy to let my baby go. It wasn't. I think about it now and it makes me emotional. But like, that was a hard year. And it was like, who am I? Who am I if I am not coming home and thinking about somebody else's well-being, what she's going to eat for dinner, making sure she has, the food groups, and she do her homework, getting home and having nobody there. That was hard.
So how did you get? How did it get better? Did it get better?
Time. I think time is a healer of all things. I think time is a teacher to us if we're willing to like learn that lesson. So with time, it definitely got easier. And then the shift came because she was doing well.
Okay.
So then it was like, okay, Lynette, you just need to. What about you now?
So what happened?
And so it was like, okay, now literally
with you.
Yes.
Right.
Like I get home and I can go out now.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'll meet you. Like I'm not thinking about a babysitter anymore.
Okay.
Like so that shift in my life, that was amazing.
Okay.
It was hard at first.
And when did you allow yourself to embrace that part? Like how many years was that before you actually felt like it was okay?
I think it was a process, and I think it's a process I still go through. Like even now, like her room, like she's about to go to college, and I know she wants to go to California, but her room, it's a 2-bedroom, and the room that was her room, I want to like transform it into like my yoga room. I want to put up a trapeze. I want to do all this stuff, and I feel conflicted. Like as a mom, I'm like, but no, when she comes home,
that's her room.
like I want her to be like, Mom, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, where am I sleeping? Like, no, the trapeze also serves as a hammock. You can just like work it out right there. So there's that idea. I still do. It's still a process.
Okay.
But here's what happened in California. She met a great group of kids out there who, you know, she has these relationships. I think she feels like a part of the community.
Okay.
And I think it was a
You
very,
were telling me that, yeah.
very different upbringing than what Brooklyn would have offered. I'm not going to say better or worse. I think for her and her personality, like it just fit. She's like a hippie
So what does
child.
the family say now?
Now they're like, they see she's doing well.
Okay.
She looks so great. And
Does he have any other children?
Nope, that's it. She's an
Okay.
only child.
From both of y'all?
She's an only grandchild.
Oh.
So you already know. They didn't want her to go.
Oh,
They didn't want her to go.
Okay.
But
And I didn't know that. Well, not that I didn't know that, but I found that interesting recently. I saw that you are still actually very close to your parents.
yes.
So are
very
you
much
the
so.
only child? Do you have
I
siblings?
am my parents' only child.
Oh my
I do have a
goodness.
sibling. I have a
Okay.
younger brother
Okay.
from my dad.
Okay.
But even that happened like I was 28.
And I didn't know that you are Dominican.
Yes, part Dominican.
Okay.
Part Jamaican, part Trinidadian.
Okay.
I just found out like a couple years ago we have St. Lucian family.
Okay.
My grandmother's father was from the Cape Verde Islands.
Okay.
So when we talk, I mean, there's a mix in there, and I think there's that aspect to all of us.
So why do you feel, or what's been out there that you've seen that keeps us divided since we're all the same? Like, because in the Dominican or Latino community, you know, there's that division, like, oh, the Puerto Ricans is blacker than me. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
when I saw that you were Dominican speaking Spanish, I was like, oh shit, I thought she was straight black, you know. But then my thing is like, well, what's straight black?
What is straight black? Like, what does that mean, right? And so I think growing up with all these different sort of cultures, it was a beautiful thing. And I remember when I used to go to my Dominican's grandma in my house, it would be a totally different experience than when I would come home. It was literally like living in two worlds. And now as an adult, I appreciate it so much more.
Okay. And I
think
like
I took it for granted a lot growing up. Like it just was what it was.
Okay, but I feel like never being to your home, I feel like I would find both cultures though very much
Absolutely,
in your
and
house.
especially like in the music,
the
I
colors
listen
and
to. It's hot.
What color is your house? What color is your living room?
No, actually, I do like a summer, like a white palette with
Okay.
like woods.
Okay.
You know, I
Okay.
like that wood. You know, white against the wood look. And I go for like calm, like serenity.
Okay.
You know.
So teaching small, like very, very, very little people, having a daughter who's a teenager away from home.
Yes.
It's still a full life because the curriculum.
It's still
the
a
age
full
group,
life.
But you have found time to be in a play and get your portrait drawn. And
Yes. So there's the other part of it.
and raise a chicken.
Oh my gosh, I know. Okay, so because of these opportunities and the time that I have on my hands, all these opportunities have sort of come my way. So yes, I actually just did a play that I hadn't. I grew up doing theater, but I took a break when I became a teacher, and my parents would like me to stay in school, so I never pursued that. But I do have like the natural resume. I did like a national commercial back in the day. Like I've been a movie. Like I've done some stuff, but I don't talk about it because I was so young when I did it. So it doesn't really feel a part of like who I am right now.
Right.
That feels like more the teacher.
Right.
You know?
Which is who everyone knows.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Hula hoop, arts and
hoop,
crafts. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And even that, okay, so the arts and crafts came out of that.
Okay.
That was like when summer I was home, like, what are we going to do? Like, I got a hula hoop. I went with my significant other to one of his concerts that he was doing, a festival.
Okay.
And they gave us a hula hoop.
Okay.
And when I got home, I was like, I'm going to trick this out with African fabric. Just because I have time to do that. And it came out so good. I was like, I'm going to get more and trick them out with Africa. And then I'm going to sell them. And, you know, people are like, you should sell them. And, you know, at one festival, I made like almost like $600. And this is just off like a hobby. So me allowing my daughter, giving her wings and allowing her to spread them and fly also gave me new wings. I really do feel like that. Like it allowed me to sort of know a different side of myself. I hadn't been alone, like just alone, nobody in the apartment but me when I came in a while. And when you have children, you know, like, when is it, you know, being alone for a long period of time and what that's like. What is your silence like? What do you do? I found I talk to myself sometimes. Yes. I was like, I'm sitting here talking to myself. Like I'm sitting here telling myself in the mirror that I talk. Like seriously, I'll be in the mirror like you're talking to yourself. But it's okay you're talking to yourself. Maybe people. And I even Googled it. Like, is it okay to talk to yourself when you're home alone? And it is. It's a sign of intelligence.
Yes.
Thank God. Right? But just, you know, really just sort of getting to know yourself better. And I think that is the key to parenthood. Like you have to not lose those things that you And I knew early into like parenting, like I wanted to be the type of mother that even while she's young, if she can't appreciate it, that when she got older, she'd be able to look back on my life, and say like, look, that was my mom, and look what my mom did, and look, you know, and that's who I come from, and be
you're
proud,
only, and what's,
be proud,
and what's
know?
crazy.
It's important for me that when she looks back on some of the things I've done, I want to leave things. Artistic things too. I want her to look at that portrait that somebody painted of me and remember like this was the time that guy used my mom and it was in the museum.
Because the beautiful thing that also comes with that is usually we get a chance to experience this maybe 4 or 5 more years later.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
When you go off to college.
Right. So the fact that you've gotten these opportunities
and you're older and maybe you're a little bit more like set in your ways or you already, you know, you're not thinking in that way.
So the fact that you're starting this early in the new chapter. You know what I'm saying? You're starting this 10 years before the second half. That's what I mean. Because when you're 50, then it's the reflection and okay, I've been here 50 years now. What's next? But the fact that you've gotten experiences way before your 40s and now into your 40s. What's beautiful? We talked about this on the Fort Greene grass soul summit. What is good about being in your 40s?
Everything. Because you know what, it really does feel like you're in your 20s. Because what is an age? Because like you're in your 20s, but you have a little bit more money. Well, hopefully, you have your own place. Hopefully, you have this.
No. Don't say hopefully you.
Yeah.
Because you do have your own place.
Okay, so yes, I'm like,
how
I feel like
who
I was in my 20s, but like I have a lot more money now. I have some stability. I can take vacations. There's a freedom. Like there's in being this responsible sort of adult.
Okay.
And there's a freedom and also saying no and staying home sometimes. Just being willing to like be more introspective.
Okay, what do you
and
mean?
Being more true to yourself.
Okay.
But like if you don't want to go somewhere and you don't want to do something, it's easier, I think, at this age for me to say no. Whereas when I was younger, I think I was more of a people pleaser.
Okay.
And wanting to, you know what I mean? Like now it's like, you know, it's okay. Like, no, I'm going to stay home and chill.
Okay.
So I think things like that got easier. I think the relationships for me, I'm in like one of the...
and I wanted to talk about that because you have... Well, not on a romantic level, but you actually have one of the, well, not few women, but you are actually one of the most, you know, a woman that I know that actually has friends.
Yes, that is so important to me.
Right. But there's a lot of women who don't have a lot of
and
female
close friends,
or close
like
female
friends that know like my dirt, like my shit, and still love me, and still look past whatever. And even I have friends who are just like, they know who I am. I have even friends who like yell like, Lynette, I've been calling you, you didn't call me back. And I know that even when she's doing that, it's being done out of love. You know what I mean? And so I do.
Why do you think there are women that are not able to have women relationships when we are two women who have women relationships? Do you think that
I think
that is a
trust,
myth?
No, it's not. I think that, you know, there's a huge, our default sometimes is to mistrust one another, to question each other's intentions toward us. I think that is also a result of...
oh, I'm sorry, I got my shirt up.
I didn't even notice.
Well, hopefully
I don't think it was too
enough
bad.
that we'll have to edit that whole part out. Okay.
Edit the boob.
Okay, well, go ahead.
But I think, you know, just, you know, trust is a huge component, and I think sometimes we're not as trusting with our sisters as we should be. We question, but honestly, I know where that stems from.
What do you think that stems from?
I think it stems from the culture of slavery.
Okay.
The mentality, how we were pitted against each other.
Okay.
What that did to us as people, psychologically. And I think that we still see the remnants today of that.
Okay. So then if we still see the remnants of that today, how are you able to be one of those that's not being affected by that? How are you one of those that's able to have, and the women that you have friends with? Because the women you have friends with also have friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm not even gonna, like, I feel like I have been affected by relationships that I've had to, like, question over the years, like, how is this serving me?
Okay.
You know, when I'm hanging out with this person and I leave, like, am I feeling good? Am I actually feeling happy and uplifted? Like, we imparted something positive to one another, or am I feeling heavy?
Not even going to do it. So
what happens then? You have to, you know, once, you know,
because that was
someone
really
gave
beautiful
me, listen,
the other day.
Somebody gave me the best advice once, and they said something. They said, extend mercy and grace.
Wait, did you just read that off my page today?
No.
Because in my statement is, I don't teach perfection, I teach mercy and grace.
Are you serious? And so she told me, extend mercy and grace always.
Okay.
Because whoever wrongs you, but think about it, you've wronged people, you've not shown up, you've disappointed. And so in realizing just sort of our own faults that we bring to the table, extend mercy and grace in this situation. And I have to say that is what allows me to even, let's say, you know, be in the same room and interact and still extend love. Yes, I want you to do well, sister.
Right.
You happy is a good thing. You happy is a good thing. You know what I mean?
But you know she crazy.
No, I know. That's why I say you happy and blessed and doing well and making money and living and getting your life and being on the up and up. I'd rather that than the other. Because then with,
but what if that?
I'd rather you do so well that you're in a better place than to wish you bad that you're doing so bad that now you're into this disparity. You know, so I think.
Where does that come from? Do you think that did you have women elders around you growing up? Did you have aunties or that gave you that example?
The most amazing, craziest, boldest women stemming from my grandmother who told me at a young age when I was walking to the store, she said, "You walk like you're a woman with a purpose." And I will never forget that. And so even now to this day, I'll be walking down the street like, woman with a purpose, woman with a purpose. So yes, I did have some strong women in my family, but I also saw the women in my family go through stuff.
Okay.
And go through situations that could possibly break you, but it didn't. And so I think there's always that idea that whatever our sister may be going through, because our sister may be hurting, therefore she's hurting us, there might be another side there. And our sister may one day come out on that other side. And that's what I want for all of us. You know what I mean? I feel like, that's what we have to want for all of us. And I think that's if we're going to talk about like how we begin to heal or how we begin to like, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a vulnerability. It's going to take like, I want this for you.
So is that why you work with children instead of adults? Is that or older children?
I work with children because I just love the chaos. No, seriously, I tell people, like, I joke.
And you work with such little kids.
I love it. I know. I call it like the crooks to civilization because airplane. It's the crooks of civilization because at their age they're learning to do like everything. They're learning how to like zip up their coat,
right?
Put on their shoes, how to share, how to be at the snack table, how to take turns, how to just be in like society. And so, but they come in the beginning of the year not having any of that. So it is like a madhouse in the beginning of the year. It's like wild animal kingdom.
Right.
Like we put snack out and it's like, and it's like, save some for it, but you can't even get that out. It's all gone, right? And one child has like 14 pretzels on their plate.
What age group do you teach?
And like the 4-year-olds.
Okay. So the beginning.
And for some of them, it's their first time in school.
Yes.
So it really is like, but there's something so pure about it. And I really do think it's one of the things that keeps my soul good.
Okay.
Keeps it like pure, keeps it like, and believe it or not, some of my students, I can look at adults in the world and say, okay, I can see who you're going to be when you're an adult, or even as an adult, like I bet you were just like this kid. You know what I mean? Or I can see when you grow up, you're going to have a hard time with this. This one doesn't like to share his snack,
He's 4.
He's 4, Or let's say sensory, like a kid that just doesn't want to wear shoes and shit. And you're like, okay, you're going to be that hippie on the beach barefoot. Like you sort of see who they are.
So you mentioned something else that was interesting about this, the 4-year-old and language, and the part that language now is playing with something as basic communication and words or verbiage was being used, and now because of the day and age that we live in, how new words are being formed or new dialogue.
Well, I think school culture has changed significantly. I would say just in the past 5 to 10 years.
Okay.
I think now with the LGBTQ community and just sort of with the the rights being able to get married, like now there's a new, there are new pronouns in the school.
Right.
So we have teachers now that don't go by Mr. and they don't go by Miss, they go by Mix, MX. That's their pronoun.
This is the movement.